Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. That's Joe Smith. This is Transfers Live. We are right bang in the middle of the January transfer window. So it is Transfers Live. We're going to be talking about all the latest Manchester United transfer news. Yes, you are swimming through that transfer news. We're going to be getting into it. We've got outgoings potentially and incomings potentially. So we'll be getting into all that. What is happening with the winger situation? Mbeumo, Garnacho. What's happening?
Winger, chicken dinner.
Exactly, as they say on the terraces. So we'll be getting into all that. Make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. Right, let's kick off with this about... There we go. You can read it.
Joao Gomes?
Yeah.
This is how we do it.
South Central does it like nobody should.
This is how we do it.
Yeah, today you got much flavour. Kick you back to the old school. Yeah, I love all that, mate.
Really good.
Yeah, go on.
Nice pawn. United reportedly battling Liverpool for the capture of impressive Wolverhampton Wanderers star Joao Gomes. Gomes, 23, has been a standout performer for Wolves this season. Despite their struggles having started 20 of their 21 Premier League games so far. Those performances have also helped him earn 9 caps for Brazil, whilst attracting interest from some of Europe's elite clubs. However, Wolves are not willing to lose any of their star players midway through the season. As a result, Gomes is more likely to take... Wait, what? Gomes' exit is more likely to take place in the summer, with both United and Liverpool set to continue scouting him in the remainder of the season. I don't know anything about him.
Joao Gomes.
Is he a keeper?
Nah, he's a midfielder.
Why is there a goalie glove there? What's that?
Has he got 9 caps? Am I right in thinking? Did he not make his debut for Brazil like not that long ago? Was it the Kobe Mainu game? Or am I getting that completely wrong?
Because I was going to say, I didn't think he was a goalie, but then
has he been playing a lot longer than that?
I'm looking at there.
When did he make his... Let's have a look. Because, I mean, look, I've not seen loads of him. He's decent. Yeah, he did. In March 2024, he made his debut. Hey, not bit of knowledge there from me. Yeah, so he's good, but he's not someone that I've ever thought we need to go and get him.
No.
Now, if he can fit into the system, if he can be maybe someone who you look at, you've got Mainu, he's another option. I get it, but I don't know. I'm a bit meh with it all. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think. Do you think he's the guy that we need? Do you think he could be a good option? Also, Liverpool are in for him as well. So are we going to end up in a bit of a bidding war with the Scousers? And also, let's have it right. Even if the wheels come off their season completely, they're going to have Champions League football next season, and the chances are we ain't. What are you smirking at?
Nothing. Carry on.
No, tell it. Share it.
No. I'm just going to ask you, where does he rank on your list of most outstanding Brazilians you've ever seen? Where would you say?
Go on. Why are you smirking here? Because you're making a reference to Fanny's and that.
No. No. I just mean, if you imagine in your head just an outstanding Brazilian.
I love the fact you thought of this, amused yourself, and stood there smirking for a minute because how funny you are with your little reference to pubes.
It's so shit as well. No, I think he's all right. I don't know a lot about him, to be honest. I just think maybe this is the perfect time to get in then, because it's like he's been a standout performer for Wolves. All right, no offence, but the competition is garbage.
It's him and who's the other kid that we're in.
Mateus Cunha, who obviously looks like a very good player. But what are they, the 18th in the league or 17th in the league? Like, they're not playing very well. They've just lost tonight again. So it's hard to know whether an outstanding performer for them is any good or not. It's the sort of the Tyler Dibbling problem. Are you good because you stand out for a bad team, or are you just slightly better than everyone who's nowhere near good enough in a bad team? We'll have to wait and see, but this is how we do it. I quite like, actually.
It's a good pun. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think. Amir Furky says, or Fickery, sorry, says, we really need Goalkeeper in January. Fred Army, just being a bit anti-Brazilian, saying, don't want any more Brazilians. They rarely work out at United. It's not true. 2 words, Cleberson.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
To be fair, who is not that it's anything to do with the fact that they are Brazilian, I don't
Well, we've had Brazilians that work. Rafael de Silva works.
Who's the best Brazilian
Fred
we've ever had?
Was fine.
We've never had a
Anderson won 4 Premier League titles, I'll have you know.
Yeah, but come on.
He scored in the Champions League final, banged his penalty in, first touch of the game, mate. Get a grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So what? So winning 4 Premier League titles in the Champions League is shit, is it?
It's not, but
Hey, how many of the current squad have done that for United?
All of them. He's not. But I mean, we've never had a sort of like a, not even world class, but like the next step below that, like really good player who stands out and starts every week for United. Really, Raphael the closest to that for spells, but again, a little bit short-lived.
But we're going off a very small sample size.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
like
don't
Anderson,
get by
Cleberson, the De Silva twins, and Fred. Is that it? Am I missing? Oh, Andreas Pereira.
See?
So it's not. There's not been loads.
No.
And also, a lot of these we've brought in. Like I think Pereira was a kid.
Antony.
Oh Jesus, wept! It's fallen off a cliff on it. Yeah. Casemiro, of course.
Yeah.
All right, maybe your man's got a bit of a point.
Yeah, actually, maybe we can boycott a whole 220 million people.
It's not just United though. There's never been a good Brazilian player. So
who's the best ever Brazilian player to play in the Premier League? Because this is genuinely, I saw this a few years ago, and it might have changed. Someone I'm not thinking of. It is considering the fact they've won 5 World Cups. It is historic. Like you look at all of the other top teams, or most of the other top teams in Europe. They've got like a talismanic Brazilian player they've had at some point, whether that be Ronaldinho, an Adriano, a Vinicius Junior, a Neymar, someone, obviously have had hundreds of world-class players down the years. There haven't been many world-class Brazilian performers in the Premier League.
Can I make an argument that you might not like? And I kind of hate myself for saying it.
Go on.
But I genuinely think he was mint for quite a few years as Fernandinho.
Yeah, I think he's the right answer.
And I fucking hate it because he's played for them lot.
Yeah.
But he was mint in the job that he was asked to do for them.
I think he's the right answer.
For about 5 years.
Yeah, he was the best player probably in the world in his position, or in that conversation whilst at Man City. Yeah, I think that is.
I hated him, and he used to drive me mad with all this fouling that he'd get away with. But he helped them win 4 titles, whatever it was. So, I mean, get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think. Figuart says Gilberto was immense too.
He was decent for Arsenal.
Abnat Bidu King Eric says I'd say Thiago Silva. Mr. KKC says Juninho.
Again, though,
Sufi
it
Zid
drops
says
off
Coutinho.
Hard after Fernandinho, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's weird that.
Yeah.
You think think of like I said, Neymar, Ronaldinho, Vinicius Junior.
There's a good shout here. Alex Cook says Alisson. That's not.
Alisson's right in the conversation.
That's not a bad shout. I think as well, like. If you're Brazilian, I mean, we have had lots of good Brazilian players in England, but it's not a country that I think is very appealing to a lot of Brazilians.
No, that's
coming
true.
to England. I think you can go to Spain. Yeah, that's quite. The climate is not that dissimilar from Brazil.
Yeah,
it's, you know what I mean. Even sort of Italy, but it's like coming to England. Was it Lucas Moura? I think who came here with with Brazil squad for the Olympics. And it was raining, and it was wet, and it was cold, and it was just like, this is... I mean, I know Paris isn't a million miles away in terms of climate, but it's a bit better, isn't it?
It's a shame, in a way, that, like...
I know he ended up at Spurs before anyone says as well, but I think he went to... Was it PSG first?
Yeah.
Instead of us. So, yeah, it's not really...
It's a shame we've never had a truly kind of like... What you picture when you think of a Brazilian forward. That kind of, like, flair, skillful kind of attacker that's torn up the Premier League. It's never really happened.
No,
it's
not
weird,
really.
The best Brazilian attacker is probably Diego Costa.
Yeah.
And he played for Spain for half of it.
Yeah.
I think he was born in Brazil.
No, he was. I went to that game when it was Spain against Holland when Percy scored that header. And he was getting absolute pelters. Yeah, they hated him. Yeah. And one of the reasons they hated him because they needed it. They could have done with him.
Yeah.
Right. We'll move on anyway. Good, solid pun, by the way.
Yeah, good stuff. Good
whoever
start.
was responsible for that.
What we got next?
Let's move on.
Want some Parmesan? Parmesan?
Right. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Why have you got a pastel rendering of him? Why does that picture look like he's been done on a lakeside by some 75-year-old woman with a set of pastels in her hand? That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very good.
Weird that.
Yeah.
Want some Parmesan? Do you like it? Hate it?
It's okay. Yeah. What do you think?
It doesn't work out loud. It looks like written down.
Want some Parmesan? Yeah.
Parmesan.
Yeah.
No.
What would you have gone with?
Suzuki
Swift. On his bike.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Works, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite... What you've done there is quite safe, actually. It's not too bad. I don't mind that. Yeah. What? Are you scowling at? Don't start getting all aggy about it.
It does work-ish. It does work.
Yeah. Parmesan.
But not really.
Parmesan. So you say it in your language.
Parmesan. Parmesan. Not even attempting to get the pun in there. Manchester United are among the sides eyeing up 40 million now, is it? We tried to sign him a year ago and they only wanted 10 then. Among 40 million rated Parma goalkeeper Zion Suzuki, one of the great names.
Zion Suzuki,
you can't beat that as a name, I'm afraid. Do you know, as a Joe Smith, I don't know if you look at names the way I do. Do you have like a, because I like my name, I'm happy with it, but it's so straightforward, isn't it? Joe Smith. Joseph Smith is
I'm telling you the other day, I've got another Joe Smith in my phone.
That's what I mean. And most people do.
Yeah.
So when I see names, I'm always looking for the unique factor, the excitement in them. Whereas Justin Motta said, you've got enough going on there that you probably don't even think about it. I see Zion Suzuki and I think I would do anything for that bad boy.
Really?
It's a sensational name. Suzuki was close to joining the Red Devils from Japanese club Urawa Red Diamonds in the summer of 2023, which feels like about 2 months ago, but we're approaching 18 months ago. But no, it's more than. But he did not want to be second choice to the incoming Andre Onana, so he chose to go out on loan to Belgian minnows Sint-Truiden instead. Parma then paid 8.5 million to take the Japan international to Serie A, where he has earned rave reviews to alert some of Europe's biggest clubs. Parma are hoping they can keep Suzuki for at least one more season, but a big money offer would test that resolve, wouldn't it? I don't think we're ready to be putting big money offers on goalkeepers.
No, I don't. It seems like a little bit of a gamble, this one. I don't think it's worth it. I haven't seen loads of him. If you have, get involved in the chat in the comments, let me know what you think. But, I don't know.
I saw a montage of some of his saves recently.
Yeah.
And obviously a montage of saves doesn't encapsulate exactly what a goalkeeper is, but I just happened across it. And it was all just like, fine.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, it's down to his left, and if it goes in, you'd be blaming the keeper.
Yeah, one of them ones.
Like, do you know today, I don't know if everyone watched the Arsenal game, but do you know the, who was Trossard goal across the goalkeeper today? And he goes down and he probably should have got a hand to it and it went in.
Yeah.
It was saves like that.
Right.
Where it's like, if you don't save it,
it's a mistake.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But it looks quite good because he dived. I mean, I'm sure, obviously, that's not all he is as a goalkeeper. That's just the little bits of what I've seen. But I don't feel like 40 million or thereabouts for a lad that turned us down 18 months ago is what we need to be doing right now.
No, I agree with you. It feels a little bit of a gamble, not worth taking, personally. Let me know what you think. Carl Thomas says, first chat as a member, big moment for me and my family. Thank you, Carl. Yeah, I'm not that bothered about this kid, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
And also, it would mean selling Onana. Because if he didn't want to join as a backup 18 months ago when he was coming from a much smaller club in Japan, he's not going to want to leave Parma and come to United as a backup. Now his stock's even higher, is he? No. So we'd have to sell Onana for this to work, presumably, unless he's changed his career trajectory and his own mindset in the last 18 months, which I don't understand why he would have. So for me, I don't feel like it's likely. I think the link is probably only there because we wanted him then, and I just don't think it's necessary either. Personally.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you've just said.
Move on. What we got?
There's a lot going on.
Bring the Bryan Mbeumo. We give this transfer 5 big booms.
What's this a reference to? I feel like I'm out of the loop here with this. So these social references. What is it? What is it?
So this is this Big Justice?
No, Big Justice is small guy.
This is Big Justice here.
What's that?
This is AJ. Is the Rizzler anywhere involved in this?
What?
What'd you say?
Is the Rizzler anywhere to be seen?
No, we were thinking about it.
The Rizzler?
We could have maybe fit him in the top left.
What the fuck are you on about?
Not the thing that you put...
What's going on?
Have you never seen... You must have seen AJ, Big Justice and the Rizzler.
What the fuck are they?
The Costco guys.
What?
The chicken bake.
You're just fucking about now saying
Double
random
chocolate,
words.
chocolate or whatever.
Who are these people?
Fuck off. They're asking who you are, mate.
Right, all
Who went on Jimmy Fallon the other week?
Who? I don't watch Jimmy Fallon, I don't like
You're not
him.
sitting right. You must have seen it the other day at least. So they... Right.
Just tell what do they do? What are they famous for?
Do you want to know what they're famous for?
Yeah.
Doing this. Boom. That is it.
Mate, seriously.
And they are gigantic.
Are they like bodybuilders and that?
The dad has sort of got...
What's going on here? I feel like this is... I'm fucking in the twilight
Are you
zone.
joking?
No, I'm not. I've
You've
never heard of
seen
these
the
people.
Rizzler? Google the Rizzler right now. Tell me you've never seen those chubby cheeks in your life.
Right, the Rizzler.
The kid's an absolute freak online. He's huge.
Oh, the Rizzler.
You're spelling it like the cigarette papers.
Yeah.
R-I-Z-Z-L-E-R.
All right.
You must have seen the Rizzler.
What? No.
What? Have you been on the internet before?
So he's just a bloke from New Jersey.
Well, he's about 8.
He's 8. Sorry for not searching 8-year-old
clearly a
children
child.
on the internet. No, I don't do that when I go home. Thank you.
Neither do I.
Well, you said search the Rizzler. You must have seen him before.
You've never seen these lot.
No.
Well, they bring the boom, okay? And they, in this case, bring the Bryan Mbeumo. And we give this transfer 5 big booms. Do it with me, Jay. Boom. Go on.
Boom.
Yeah. 3 more.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. 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 Boom.
Brilliant. You can stop clapping. It's a disaster. Arsenal, Manchester United and Tottenham are all gearing up to make a £50 million bids for Brentford's Bryan
Mbeumo. Mbeumo.
Has 13 goals in 21 Premier League games this season. What is going on? No club have taken action for the moment, but they have taken information. This is a new one, Jay.
What?
And, wait, what? And could go on the offensive before the end of the transfer window. Aware of the value of Mbeumo, Brentford intend to raise the stakes for him. So let's add, so we've got monitoring.
Yeah.
We've got have shown interest.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of ones. Have you ever seen taken information?
Taking information? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Like, that is mad. Doesn't it look like Ruben Amorim that's genuinely a picture of him?
That's big justice.
It looks like he's posed for that.
Yeah, doesn't it?
In fact, they both kind of do. It's
Yeah.
quite good that. That kind of fits.
It's nicely rendered, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. But I wasn't aware of these people.
I can't believe you've never seen
No,
them.
I haven't. Sorry. No. I mean, I do watch.
The Rizzler's in Wikipedia. Look at that picture. Turn your laptop around. Look at the picture on his Wikipedia page. God, it's classic Rizzler. It really is. How old is he?
8. Kid. Right. I'm 45, and he could. If I told people that's my dad, you could believe it. I've got a picture of my dad in my wallet. That's my dad.
Yes.
And he's 37 years younger than me. Fucking hell. Look at that. Look at the state of that.
In fairness,
I could be his granddad.
the Rizzler is wise beyond his years.
Why? Like, I'm not about.
doesn't
I'm
like it. He
not.
doesn't
I'm
like
not
it to
trolling
be
the
a
lad.
dad.
I know that sounds harsh. I'm not trolling, but
got
I don't see many 8-year-olds that are like that. Like,
That's why he's an absolute sensation.
how's he become famous? What's he been doing?
He's
known for his Riz face.
How are you just finding out about this now, mate?
My son does shit like that.
Yeah, that's where he's got it from.
That'll be what it is then.
He's got it from the Rizzler.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I have
It's
to
okay.
chat to my kids about these references.
Merry
'cause-
Rizmas and a happy new Riz.
Right. Okay.
Right. Bryan Mbeumo, do you want him? Do you like him? Do you need him?
I love Bryan Mbeumo. I fucking love him. I do.
What is happening? I'm so hot. I've never been this hot.
I really, really want Bryan Mbeumo, but I don't think we'll get him.
Do you think he's, again, almost not in the same way that Suzuki is, but no, sorry, not Suzuki, Joao Gomes. Is he the best player for a decent team? I know they're much better than us this season. Do you think he can take that step up? I saw Ronaldo tweeting before about how he thinks when he takes that step up, he's going to sort of explode in kind of output. Do you agree with him, or do you think you're probably going to get roughly the same player that he's playing, that you get at Brentford?
No, I think he'll go from being one of two. It's him and Visa in it at Brentford, who are the two danger men. I think you bring him in a team where you've got Ugarte, you've got Mainu, you've got Bruno, you've got Diallo. He's in that mix. I think he'll shine.
Yeah.
I do. And even though United, in terms of league position, are very close to Brentford, and it's like we do have a lot of better players in Brentford. Yeah. Like, we are massively underperforming this season. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, this is as bad as it gets for Manchester United with this group of players.
On a one-to-one level, maybe other than some of our forwards, most of our players get in there.
Yeah, we've just had a stinker of a season. But I think Bryan Mbeumo, in this Ruben Amorim side, I think he can do bits. I really do. I don't think he's the only piece of the puzzle. I don't think it's getting Mbeumo sorted. I still want to see a striker come in. But I think get a striker, left wing back, and him, and we'd be set. I really do. I think we'd be there and thereabouts.
In the right direction.
I just wonder, because Brentford, I know a lot of this is drivel, but Brentford intends to raise the stakes for him. It makes sense to me. I don't think you're going to go into Brentford and go, here's 45 million. They just go, okay, yeah, you can have him. I think
He's a good age as well, 25.
Yeah,
so
I
they want
think-
good money.
what? Great. Yeah, I think you're going to have to pay 65, 70 million, something like that, which
Yeah.
that's a bit, 70 million, no. I'm just going in some of the chats here, some of the comments. Stoyan Histov says, no way we are signing this guy.
I always feel like whoever, and this is not
Yeah.
really, whenever United are linked to anyone, there is a certain portion of the fan base that just goes, as if we'd be able to get him.
Yeah.
Why does anyone think we'll be able to? We're going to sign someone.
Yeah.
Like when we were linked with De Ligt, so many people like, as if he'd come to United.
Yeah.
And like Casemiro, when you said it, which was fair enough in that instance, but it's like no way would he come to United. No way would Sancho join. No way would Pogba join. Like, we can't even get fucking Brentford's best player anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to be able to sign somebody. I'm not saying it's definitely going to be him, but like we're not like
The
so
thing that
low down
rattled me
we can't
with
get
Casemiro
their players.
wasn't the fact we got him, which was surprising. It's the fact that Rabiot was the first choice, and then we went, nah, we can't get Rabiot. Fuck it, let's just get that Casemiro then instead.
Yeah.
That's what was baffling.
Yeah,
but
Casemiro
United,
wasn't
even post Fergie, Pogba was a world star. Zlatan was. Lukaku was one of the most sought after strikers in the world. I know we paid a lot of money for these players, but these were players that could have gone to a lot of other clubs, or stayed at the clubs they were at, but came to Manchester United. Because even Pogba and Zlatan, I know we paid a lot of money for them and give them good wages. We weren't even in the Champions League when they came. Like, United tend to get decent players.
Yeah.
We just tend to, not use them. Di Maria went from Real Madrid to Manchester United.
I'm pretty sure
You know what I
Bryan
mean? It happens a lot.
would be up for playing for Manchester
Of course
United.
he would. Of course he would. But I know it's different because obviously Ericsson was a lot older, but Ericsson could have stayed at Brentford. He couldn't come at United. What did he do?
Yeah.
Came at United because no disrespect to Brentford, but they're just not in the same stratosphere as Manchester United. They might be in a similar league position, but in
Right
terms
now.
of
Yeah.
the stature of the club, the size of the club. And also, if you're Bryan Mbeumo, you come to Manchester United and you score 15 goals for Manchester United, or you score 15 goals for Brentford, and watch what scoring 15 goals for Manchester United does for your career in terms of the money you can earn, the profile you'll get, the brand deals you get offered.
And also the chances of those 15 goals winning you a trophy.
Yeah,
or two.
you're entering a new sort of stage in your stratosphere of your career
massively.
that you just will not happen at Brentford.
No.
So, I think he'd be up for it. I just don't know about the prices, whether it'd work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, go on.
Yeah, what we got next? Garnacho. Garnachos with McSauce. You know the famous meal, nachos and sauce.
All right, okay, yeah.
But,
Right, no, I mean, no.
Would you want some sauce with your nachos?
Garnachos
Sauce?
with McSauce.
If he was called McSalsa, we're on to a winner.
Yeah, so I get it, because it's obviously he's joining McTominay.
Cheese sauce, maybe?
Yeah, and they're trying to get McSauce in there for the McTominay thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really work. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's,
You could have maybe got cheddar in there, like money.
yeah.
Got cheddar with Garnacho. Fabrizio Romano confirmed that Napoli are interested in Garnacho, but are aware that a potential deal won't come cheaply. Romano told Give Me Sport he's a kind of dream signing for Napoli. He's a player they really appreciate internally. Does that mean within the club or within their own hearts, do you think? I appreciate him internally.
Yeah.
Not
Maybe,
sure.
yeah.
He's a player that they consider perfect for the skills he has, but at the same time they are being realistic, and they know that Man United want big money for Garnacho, so it's not going to be a signing for 30 or 40 million euro. So it depends on Napoli's budget. If they want to invest big money, that's the dream signing. Also for Conte, the coach is in love with Garnacho, but at this point they are being realistic. Furthermore, Ben Jacobs posted on X, Napoli are considering a bid for Alejandro Garnacho, but it will require a 70 million euro fee to strike a deal with United. Throw Napoli, actually no, I was just going to say, throw them in with the Borussia Dortmunds of this world, where they're constantly selling players for loads of money but never wanting to spend a lot. And then I remembered they spent 80 million euros or 60 million euros on Victor Osimhen.
Yeah,
when he was a relative unknown
African player ever at the time, wasn't
Yeah, so maybe they're not quite, but they've literally just sold Kvaratskhelia for about this money, 70 odd million.
Yeah.
So they've got it if they want to use it, but maybe they don't seem quite as valuable. I also think, that when you're buying players and selling players, you have to think about that player's value when you sell them yourself. And I think they see Garnacho as the sort of player that will be attractive to other big clubs in a few years' time.
Yeah.
So they probably are more willing to spend 40, 50, 60, maybe even 70 million on him than someone of a similar talent level who is less marketable, has got less sort of fame behind them already. The fact he's coming from Man United, he's got kind of this Ronaldo-esque look and play style and almost aura, if you want to use the word that the kids use, even though he's not of the quality of Cristiano Ronaldo so far that we've seen, and why would he be, because Ronaldo's arguably the best player ever. He's got this thing about him, hasn't he, Garnacho, a bit of an X factor to him. So they can probably buy him for 60 million. If he has 2 or 3 good years, they'll probably make their money back in that time if they really wanted to.
Maybe this is where there is some potential for this deal getting done.
Yeah.
Is if Napoli is saying to United, look, we're not going to give you 70 million now. Let's say we go 50 million now and a big chunk of the sell-on fee.
Yeah.
So you get 20% of the sell-on fee. And then if Napoli if he does have two, 3 good seasons with them, still only be 23 years old.
Yeah.
They sell him for 80 million quid. United get 20 million more quid and they get 60 million.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy. So
Yeah.
United have got some money, more money. Napoli have got the money back and a little bit of profit.
And
they've had him for 3 years. Maybe
Yeah.
that is a pathway to this deal being attractive enough for everyone. Because I think, I said this the other day on the news. There was a report from one of the sort of lesser known publications that was saying Napoli were willing to go up to 80 million euros, which is obviously a lot more than 70 million. And I said, look, I like Garnacho, you know my thoughts on him. I said 80 million euros makes it seem like hard to turn down, or at least you have to think about that, because that's a lot of money, and it's all profit because it's an academy player, and it's a player who, if we're going to be just cold-faced businessmen, you could argue the jury's out on.
Yeah.
He is a good player. There's no denying his talent. Is he going to be a success at Manchester United for the next 5 years? Probably, but I don't think you go, he's nailed on.
Yeah.
He's another.
He's not Wayne Rooney, is he?
No, he's not.
You cannot be certain he will be the special player that you think he could be. Whereas Napoli are almost paying special player money for him right now. If you enter that 70,
I think this is a bit of a win-win for everyone. You know, you nailed it. Like, he potentially could be a superstar for them.
Yeah.
He could be a player. And also, let's just say worst case scenario, if he goes to Napoli and he's underwhelming and he doesn't quite do what he's meant to do, and he could be 22 years old and decides to sell him, they'll still get 40 million or something for him.
Yeah, they would.
They would, because he's a 22-year-old who's been at United, scored a load of goals for United and helps us win trophies.
And he's capable of outstanding things as well,
Yeah.
like the Everton
Yeah,
goal.
mate, he's a Puskas Award winner.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know people don't go, well, I'm going to give you 80 million quid because he scored that goal.
No.
But he's obviously a player whose ceiling is quite high.
Yeah.
It's just his consistency's low. And you can pinpoint some of the problems he's got. He's not that happy at the minute. No. He's having a bit of a funny time with it, with his relationship with the fans, social media stuff and all that. You can say, look, if we can get him away from all this, that could fix some of the issues he's got. Yeah. This isn't a player who's just not that good. No. He's very good. I'd be sad to see him go. I remember when he broke in at not in the first team, when he was at the academy, that final against Forest, the FA Youth Cup final.
Both of that, weren't we?
Yeah, both of that, me and you were there.
Yeah.
I had something lad and his mate. They were loving him. Garnacho, who's like the star of the show, so exciting. You see him come into the first team, tore City apart when he came on against them at Old Trafford. Obviously, the late winner against Fulham as well. Yeah. But I just feel he's stagnated a little bit. Got to be careful though sometimes with young players, because what happens is they have this burst onto the scene, do really well, then they have a little bit of a lull, and then they come back up again. Yeah. And so I've got to be careful not to just dismiss him too quickly. But 70 million plus, that's very tempting. What do you reckon? Do you take that, Joseph?
I think I'm on the fence. The deciding factor, if it's around 70 million, the deciding factor is he ever going to be a first choice ideal solution for Amorim? I don't think he quite fits in Amorim's system. So for me, that would be the reason to go. There is a possibility that in 18 months' time, he's not really getting a game for us, and he's worth 20 million euros.
Do you know? Sorry,
so
go on.
Maybe,
finish your point.
So
Sorry,
maybe I probably would just lean towards letting him go if it's that kind of money. Like I said, with the system, it doesn't quite suit him, does it?
It does feel like Garnacho though. He is teachable. I feel like he is. You know. I feel like, look at his response to getting dropped from the derby. He's pulled his socks up a bit. He has, and that could have been he could have gone the way of Marcus Rashford. I know Marcus Rashford's a lot older and is a bigger player and has more, sort of cachet or whatever. But he could have said, "Oh, this manager don't fancy me. I don't fucking want to be here. Yeah. I'm putting in a transfer request. I can go and play almost anywhere in the world. I don't have to listen to this shit." But he didn't. He's kind of got on with it, hasn't he? Got himself back into the squad. Got himself in and around the team. Obviously played his part in the last 2 games. So I do feel like there's a player there who might make a lot of mistakes, but also can learn. So I don't know. It's funny again. I like Garnacho. I do. I think he gets a little bit of unfair stick, but you can't ignore that. And one thing we've got to forget as well. We've got to get. Someone just said it in the comments. I understand it. I understand your point you're making. Someone said 70 million. That's it. KC said we paid 70 million for Højlund, so 70 seems low. I understand that. You could argue, he's better than Antony. We paid 80 million for Antony. Yeah. You've got to almost forget about what we've done in the past with some of these transfers. Yeah. We have fucking wasted shitloads of money on Dross. I'm not saying Højlund's Dross, but we have. Yeah. And you've got to think, right, just forget about now. What are we going to do with that money if we get it? Are we going to go out and buy, I don't know, Mbeumo and Goalkeeper? Are you going to be able to get a deal done for both of them for 80 million or whatever? Yeah. Is that doable? I mean, it might not be, I don't know. But you might have a plan where you go, okay, we're going to get, the wing back that we've been linked with, that we want, and also a midfielder. And you think, okay, it's worth it. It's kind of like, a little bit like the Scott McTominay thing. I know it's difficult, but it felt like we got McTominay out to get the money to get your guy. Yeah. We had to do that deal. And most of us wanted McTominay to stay. I think the manager wanted him, but we wanted a guy more, or certainly Ineos did. Yeah. And so far, that's looking like a deal that was worth doing. Yeah. So, I just feel like we've got to almost forget about some of the bad transfer decisions we've made.
Using us as the metric for what is a fair transfer fee in terms of who we've bought is just the wrong way to do it. Look at more like, what do Bayern spend on players? What do City spend on players? Not what do we spend on players, because we've got it completely wrong for 10 years.
Dan, sorry, it says, Mbeumo, boom or doom?
What do you think?
Boom.
Right answer.
Correct, well done. Should we move on? No Prem for Marcus.
Milano Prem for Marcus.
Thoughts? No Prem for Marcus. What does that mean?
Yeah, what's that mean?
He's banned from Premier League moves.
Mila.
No Prem.
It's because it's Milano.
Milano. It's not bad actually. It lines up.
Milano
It's not particularly exciting or inspiring, but it does line up. I think it works.
Right. Fine.
Yeah. Manchester United's power brokers will not sanction a move to their Premier League rivals for Marcus Rashford. United's co-owner Jim Ratcliffe would not be willing to sanction a switch to their rivals. This decision will leave teams like Chelsea, Tottenham and West Ham bitterly disappointed. Ratcliffe's stance means Rashford is likely to join a foreign club in the coming weeks. I mean, it deals, isn't it? If he's not joining an English club, do the maths on that. So if not England, what's the rest of it called? Foreign. AC Milan are believed to be leading the race to signing the international and have held talks with Rashford's representatives. No agreement has been reached, however, with plenty of other clubs also lurking in the background.
Sex offenders, what's that?
Excuse me? Who are you there? Barcelona going to be like that.
Yeah. Lurking in the background.
If you don't get a deal done, just come this way, yeah? Okay? Don't tell anyone you saw me. I'm just lurking in the background.
What is that? Mate.
Lurking in the background.
Oh, this took a very swift turn.
It feels as though this is one, it might drag on a little bit through the window, but at some point, we're going to see Rashford 2X, here we go, I think.
Yeah,
it just feels like one way or another we'll get a deal done with Milan or Dortmund or Juve or Barca or whoever it is. He's just not going to be here anymore, is he? And unfortunately, I don't think there's that much more to say about it than let's just wait and see until he goes. If he stays, I'll be stunned and then we'll have to address it again. But this is kind of more of the same, innit, on Rashford?
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is, but we've done all this to death. He's going to go. It is the time for him to go. He's obviously not part of Ruben Amorim's plans. He said he wants to leave. Yeah. Fine.
What can you ask for?
Everyone sort of walks away from Marcus Rashford at Manchester United. It makes a lot of sense. And I think for him, go to somewhere like Milan would be a good move. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world and certainly a lot of history there. And I think he could do well. If he turns up in Serie A, he could do really well. Is there any more for any more?
Yes. What we got next? A real bet is that he'll leave.
A real bet is that he'll leave. I like that.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
I quite like that, actually. Well done.
Yeah.
United are currently in dialogue with multiple clubs, including Real Betis, over a January loan deal for Antony. Greek side Olympiacos have been mentioned to be an interested party in Antony's signature, but he's not believed to be too keen on joining them. There's also reports that West Ham are eyeing Antony. Late last month it emerged that Real Betis had sounded out United to explore the possibility of getting a loan transfer for Antony over the line. It was stated that Betis boss Manuel Pellegrini considers the 24-year-old an ideal option for his brand of football. United will consider offers for the 24-year-old, with the most likely deal being a loan. Thoughts?
It sort of pains me and annoys me at times when United are kicking around in 15th in the Premier League, whatever, and you look at our bench and you've got Antony and Casemiro and players like that not getting any games. You've got Marcus Rashford, who's not even in the fucking squad. We're literally paying about £1 million a week for players to not play for Manchester United.
Yeah,
and we've got, we've spent 150 million quid on Casemiro and Antony, and they're not really getting any minutes. It's just ludicrous.
Yeah,
we need to get rid of some of these players. We do. I don't give a fuck if it's a loan or a permanent move. Just get them gone, man. They're not playing for us, and we're paying for them to sit and watch football. Just give them a fucking season ticket. It's cheaper. It's just nonsense. And yet, Antony's had, barely any minutes in the last 4 or 5 games? Yeah. Listen, I don't want to keep going on and on about Antony, but he's not playing for Manchester United. He isn't. Neither are some other players. Casemiro, neither is Marcus Rashford. We need to get these players moved on. Chances are we're not going to get rid of Casemiro in January. Chances are we will get rid of Marcus Rashford. And if there's a possibility of getting him gone, even if it was someone came in and went, look, we'll take him on loan, fucking fine, have him on loan then. Because paying someone 200k to not play for United is just fucking insane to me. Yeah. It really is. And it just, this is the mess that Ineos and Ruben Amorim are dealing with. Yeah. And I'm not saying Ineos perfect, he's made a lot of decisions that I don't like, but I do sympathise.
But this isn't their fault.
This isn't their fault.
No.
I do sympathise with some of the things they've inherited, because some of the decisions and actions we have taken as a football club have been fucking mental. Yeah. Daniel Berry says, Ineos are desperate to cut budgets and our playing squad is a massive part of that. Nomad Joe says, not even Saudi wants Casemiro. Yeah, you might struggle to get rid of Casemiro. I don't know what's going on there. But any possibility of getting some of these players just out of the door, you've got to take it, man, because we're paying them for nothing. Yeah. They're not featuring.
They're being paid a lot as well.
Yeah, and you've got players like Toby Collier's getting minutes ahead of some of these players. Yeah. You've got other players like who are getting run into the ground because they're playing basically every fucking game, because they're the only attackers you can trust, because you don't trust him at all. Yeah. And the other one, Marcus Rashford, he's not even in your squad. It's like, you need to fix this problem, so yeah, get him moved on.
Yeah, and I think as well, if you once the likes of, let's say, Rashford, Casemiro, Eriksen, Antony leave, you go through the starting 11, most of these players are on sub 200 grand a week contracts. Yeah. I think Onana is under that. I think Martinez is under that. De Ligt, I'm not sure, maybe slightly above that. I'm pretty sure Mazraoui is below that. Yoro will certainly be below that. Dallo is below that. Mainu well below that. Ugarte the same. Like, all of a sudden, when you go back 2 or 3 years, when you had the likes of Ronaldo on 500 grand, Sancho on 375, Varane on a similar number. Rashford didn't quite get his contract then, but he was on about 250. Martial 200. Luke, like, you go ahead once these players have gone at the end of the season at the latest. All of a sudden, there's only a couple of standouts above that number now, and it's like, Bruno, does he deserve it? Yes. Like, Luke Shaw, probably not. He'll probably leave. Like, all of a sudden, you bring people in and you can say to them, we're going to give you 170 grand a week, and that actually makes sense as a starting 11 player for Man United. You can't even argue, because we haven't got Sancho sat on the bench on 350, or Rashford, or Casemiro. Like, we're not far off the wages actually making a little bit of sense in Man United, and it'll be the first time in about 10 years, or 7 or 8 years certainly, that we can say that. So it's crucial on the pitch, but I think off the pitch, in terms of the ethos and what Man United is, getting rid of some of these players is really important, I think. You
make a great point. It's like all the talk with Kobe Mainoo's contract. Yeah. Apparently he's, in line or wants 200k a week. I don't know how true that is about him saying I want 200k, because I think the people that are reporting that, I don't know how they would know that. Who's spoken to him really about that. But if you've got players that are earning 350k to not play for Manchester United, and you're playing week in, week out for Manchester United, you're probably going to want to earn at least half of what they earn.
Yeah, come on.
You're probably going to want to earn at like 175k a week. Yeah. If you go, look, all right, okay, I'm only a kid, I've only been here for a year, but I'm playing every week. He doesn't play and he gets double this.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unreasonable. But like you say, if you move out all them top earners and the standard is a lot lower, but still, let's not pretend they're on the breadline. It works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Anyone else? Any more? Is that it?
Well
That's
done.
your lot?
Aw,
Quite enjoyed that. Yeah, it was good. Thank
fantastic.
you to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. There's a video out in the morning, me and Joe looking at players like Mbeumo, like Garnacho, like one or two other players that we've been linked with as well, seeing which type of player or who we could be getting in to that sort of 10-winger hybrid role that
Tricky one, isn't it?
Ruben Amorim
Alongside
loves.
the wing back, it's the most important role, I think, in Amorim's system.
And it is slightly niche, innit? It's not like everyone can play there.
No.
Some players are a 10, some players are a winger, some can do both roles, others can't. So we'll be getting into all that. So that'll be out in the morning. Then you've got the watch along, you've got Joe, you've got
Joe McGrath, Ronaldo, and who else we got? Scotty, I believe.
Yeah, the dream team.
Yeah.
So if you want to be part of that, by the way, you can be part of the watch along and the pre-match build-up. Film yourself in landscape for 30 seconds, giving your score prediction, and send it to paddockmatchday@gmail.com. If you've not done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go and check him out as well on Sloppy Joe's podcast. That's been Joe Smith. I'm Jay. This has been Transfers Live. Thanks for watching.
Boom.